Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Darius, and this video is not for the girls, and it never has been. It never has been, and let me tell you why. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you guys know the song "Roman Holiday" by Nicki Minaj, but I need a Roman holiday right now, immediately. Because she said you done your type, you sucked at life. You don't want a round three because you done suffered twice. And I have suffered twice. And right now I'm in the stage of not wanting a round three. And I just got finished with my second round of suffering. This is what is it called? A monstrous week. We have some Chipotle here that I'm going to be eating. The brightness is a little weird. You know, I don't know why it's a little blown out. And first things first, well, the one good positive is that I got this for $5, which I think is kind of absurd because I eat so much at Chipotle. Okay, we get it. You got a nice car. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I don't like when people do that. It's like, okay, we get it. Whatever. Anyway, this is round three. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Y'all saw the pants out. I've been wearing this pants every video. I'm sick to my stomach. This better not fall again. I didn't do nothing to you. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm done and I'm tight and I'm sucking at life right now. So let me explain before I dig in, and because we have a story time as well too today. I don't know if you guys read the title, but we got a story time today. But first, it's Thanksgiving week. I leave for Chicago on Black Friday. No idea what time, if I should leave in the morning, whatever. And then I'm almost positive this is gonna fall again. I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my soul that it's gonna fall. But anyway, so I have to go to Chicago on Friday. Thursday is Thanksgiving. Everybody's coming to my house in a matter of 24 hours to 48 hours. My mom loves to invite the world to events, to our house. And there's going to be, I think she said 17 people, which is kind of a lot of people if you ask me. My room is a mess. That was the same guy, by the way, on the highway. I mean, about to get on the highway, and he did a lot. But anyways, or it could have been a girl. It's 2023, it could have been a girl. I don't know. But anyways, the point is that we got Thanksgiving. We have, what else? My mom just put her liquid sauce on sale. The limited edition liquid sauce. On sale. And I want to say it's completely sold out already. But you know what that means? We have to ship those orders. And I'm helping to do that, so I got to do that. Then there's a man at my house right now, putting up a gargantuan chandelier. This is so crazy. I'm not joking. A gargantuan chandelier. Let me start eating before you guys try to get me. Don't do me. A gargantuan chandelier as we speak. And at first, my dad wasn't here because he was trying to go do the orders. And I was at home trying to let the guy in to do the chandelier. And then my dad gonna say, well, do we need help? And I said, I don't know if this man needs some help. Because guys, it's huge. You'll see it eventually. My mom will show you. But I don't know if she's already has or whatever. But it's huge. And he's like installing it. We did the small ones that were, I don't know if she put that video out, but she was recording me do it. There were some small ones that we put in our kitchen. But there's a huge one that matches it that's going in our entrance area or whatever, and it's really big. But whatever, that's happening, and I had to sit here all day looking at him, and he was like basically saying I need some help, and I was like, listen, my dad's gonna be here in a couple minutes, just wait, because I don't know what to do. It's so big. But anyway, so then we have family come over. I gotta go to Chicago. In Chicago, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm doing, but it's a lot. I told y'all to tell me some places to go to, and I think a couple people did. I have taken note of that. I need some more recommendations. My mom's obviously going to give me some since she grew up there. And then what else is stressing me out is the story time I'm about to tell you today. And my mom's this is so crazy. Like, my mom's calling me, and it's like, I just want to do a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to do it. I just kind of want to do a vid. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is falling and she's calling. I'll be right back. I'll probably have to cut this part out. I'm not being in no mukbang family no more. Oh, that man looked at me. Some lady will say, shout out to you if this was you. But last video I said, oh my gosh, this person's looking at me. She said, well, what do you expect? Let me take a bite before you guys eat through me. No pun intended. Oh, this is the wrong side of the chip. Let me take a bite before you guys get me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally just trying to talk and. Of course, my chip broke. This is round 3. I'm not joking. Okay. I asked for light sour cream. I said. I hope your day is going better than mine. I really hope. I do. Because this is ridiculous. I'll be right back. Okay, we had to come to a new location across the way because the sunlight was just not hitting correctly. Anyways, let me quickly continue with what I was saying because I know y'all hate me for doing that. I was saying that my mom called me talking about I was going to call you to see if you wanted to do a video. I said, oh, well, I had to do what I had to do because, we out here on our own and by ourselves, just having a fend for ourselves. Because I was like alluding to us doing a video together earlier, but she said she was so busy and she had things to do. She's supposed to be at the doctor right now. I don't know why she calling me, but whatever. Anyway, so then I was like, yeah, I'm at Chipotle doing a video. She's like, oh, well, I was going to go to Chipotle. Oh, really? Oh, really? Of all the places you wanted to come to Chipotle. She's like, yep, we're going to be next to each other doing a mukbang. And she's gonna be in the parking lot doing a mukbang while I'm over here in this parking lot doing the mukbang for Chipotle. This is ridiculous. Now, what do you guys get in your Chipotle bowls? Oh, if she's not going to the doctor, she needs to be at the warehouse. Now, the reason why I go to Chipotle so often is because I feel like it's one of the best healthier options of fast food. This is a berry agua fresca. Yes. I said yes. Okay, so what I was going to say was, my mom is going to do a video, and I think that that's so crazy that she's doing it at the same exact place that I'm doing it at this moment. I should have said light rice, because what is that? And so many things are going on in my house, in my family, in my life. And I don't take stress easy, guys. It depends on what it is. But when things start to build up, it's over for me. Don't ask me to do nothing, because I can't. So let's talk about this story. I'm gonna do it while I eat this time, because I know y'all gonna kill me for waiting too long. This is a story time about how I think I don't know. I need your input on if I'm currently getting scammed. So let me explain. You guys know I have to start at the beginning. So, in Arizona, I started working out with this company called Prestige Fitness. Amazing company. They have personal trainers, nutritionists, posture specialists, and something else. And I went there to go do all of the above that I just said. And while I was at the posture specialist, they told me that I was built like cattle. They did. They did tell me that my back was actually shaped like have you ever seen a boomerang? You know how it's like a right angle? Yeah. They told me that my back was shaped like that. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. They said I need to fix it immediately, or I'll be dead on arrival at 45. They didn't say I was gonna die, but they did say that they could see preliminary issues that I was gonna start having when I got older if I didn't fix them now. And lo and behold, I believe them. I mean, I didn't know about it before. Obviously, before you like really go see somebody about something, you don't really notice things. But after they told me, let me tell you what they told me was wrong. And this is not the scam part. They told me that my back was actually shaped like a boomerang for real. That I have, I think it's called lordosis. So my back, if this is my back, I'm facing this way, right? This is my back. It goes down in the top and then it curves in like a C. And then my butt is out here. It's not that exaggerated, but it definitely is curved. I like, basically I'm sticking my butt out constantly. Not on purpose, so don't try it. It's a part of my spine. So basically they were like, you need to fix this because otherwise you're going to have like lower back issues. You probably are having some now, which I was. But they said you're going to have some when you get older. It's nail on the finger. But I was like, oh my gosh, how do I fix it? So they're like, there's all these little stretches you can do. But then I'm thinking like, are stretches really going to work? Whatever. And then at this point, I'm starting to feel what they're telling me. They're like, okay, your back is, you have a little bit of lordosis. And when I was doing leg workouts, specifically when I was trying to do stuff with heavier weight, my back would be so irritated. And my lower back specifically. And it would be irritated on one side of my back. So, and they had already told me all this. They're like, your pelvis is rotated too. So listen, let me tell you what's wrong. My back has lordosis. My pelvis, my right pelvis is rotated, I think, like this, or like one is in front of the other, or something like that. And then my shoulders are the opposite way rotated. I want to say my pelvis is up like this or something, and my shoulders are up like that because it's my body's trying to compensate. So that's why when I'm doing heavy lifting with my legs, specifically one-legged exercises, I think it's my right or my left side is crazy. It feels crazy. And it's because my body is like, my muscles on that side are like, what's going on? Because the other muscles aren't doing enough, and so they're trying to overcompensate. And it's a whole slew. They also said that I might as well not have toes. They didn't say that, but they said my feet I don't have any arches, they're collapsed. Now this is the whole thing because I feel like, I saw something somewhere that black people have flat feet. Now I don't know if that's true or if it's in our genetics or something like that, but all I know is my dad has flat feet. I think my mom is getting there. I think I'm getting there as well. And there's a lot of people with flat feet, but you need arches to support your feet, like that whole like mechanism of the stretchy arch or whatever, like it's for like springing actions and stuff, like you need that. And I don't really have that much of it. So they were trying to tell me what to do to help with my feet and all this other stuff, but there were like so many different exercises that I had to do every day, and I couldn't do it. So lo and behold, I stopped doing anything with them because I'm not in Arizona anymore. And I got back here and I was like, I still want to fix these issues, right? So I was implementing some of the stretches they told me to do in my daily routine. I'll wake up and do them. And then I was like, you know what? I want to go to a chiropractor. Now, I've never been to a chiropractor before. The lady, the posture specialist, was really, she didn't want to like say it, but I felt like she was trying to give me like, don't go to a chiropractor. And I don't know why. I've never been to one. I feel personally like what I've seen is that the general consensus is that chiropracty, I don't even know if that's how you say it, is like, to me, like less of a concrete science, I don't know if this is true or not, than other medical sciences. And the reason why I say this is because I feel like depending on the chiropractor you go to, they're doing different things. I see all over social media, there's some ravens and some crows next to me, and I don't want it today. I don't want it today. I done suffered twice. This better not be round 3. You better get back. They looking at me too. I already had 2 rounds. Now, anyways, basically, they were talking about some, sorry, chiropractic. So basically, like, I just feel like every time you see on social media, all they want to do is cracks. And then I saw, because like people are like, oh my God, I want to get my back cracked. And I was kind of that person too. But then I saw videos saying like, if you go to a chiropractor for any kind of like actual things, and you want to be like, you want to fix low back pain or whatever your symptoms are, and all they want to do is crack you, that is just not going to help, because you might feel temporary relief at that time. This is kind of my story, but anyways, you might feel temporary relief at that time, but then who's to say, or like it's not really fixing your back or your legs or whatever. You need to do stretches at home and like constantly to reform your like the structure of your body. Like you need to have them giving you exercises to do to strengthen muscles, to do whatever to make your body function perfectly. You can't just be getting cracks. And so I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. So I looked up a chiropractor through my insurance. Like they have a whole thing where you can find out, different places that you can go to that are near you. So I did that. And I found this place. Now, I'm not going to put them on blast because I don't know if it's going to work or not. But the first review that I saw, and this is my bad, but the first review that I saw was that, actually the first and the only review they had on Yelp, which I don't know. I was looking all around the internet for this place because I was trying to figure out how I was supposed to schedule an appointment, how I was supposed to do anything. And they were like, this is the first Yelp review, or the only one. They were like, this place is crazy. And the reason why they said it was crazy was because their consultation they went to wasn't free, and they charged them $50 or $75 for the consultation. So I was like, that is weird, because for me personally, I feel like if you're gonna like gain my trust as a patient, I want to be able to go to you, address my concerns. Again, I don't go to the doctor often, or like I don't even know how this process normally works or how it works for a chiropractor or anything like that. But I want to be able to go there, address my concerns, and feel like I trust what you're saying because you're giving me information. I'm just thinking fast forward to like what actually happened. But anyways, I want you to give me information that I like feel like I understand. I want to see success stories and things like that. So, and I don't want to have to pay for my first visit, for my consultation visit, only because like I want to scope out the scene first. I want to see what you recommend. What is like something like what are you going to do for me? How am I going to benefit from this? And then like we can talk about a plan, or we can talk about whatever. after that first free consultation, right? But it wasn't like that. So first of all, I call and phone. Okay, so I sign up for a chiropractor appointment. They call me on the phone, and the first thing they say is, hey, so like, what are some of the symptoms you're having? So I tell them about the low back pain and things like that. I tell them about Arizona and all that other stuff. And they're like, okay, so we'll get you scheduled for your consultation. It is a $25, like, not like a down payment kind of thing. And now, like, every time I share these stories, I feel like looking back, it's like, this is so crazy and I should have known. But they ask you for $25 to, like, secure your spot or what, I don't know, whatever. Again, to me, that's always like a red flag. It's like, okay, I'm just going to a consultation and now I'm paying money to go there. Like, I should be able to shop around to different chiropractors and have free consultations and pick the one that's best for me. But now I'm paying. I get, people want to be paid for their time. Whatever. $25 is fine. Whatever. $25 to go. So I go there. And they're trying. Oh, before I go there, she's like, fill out this thing before your appointment. The thing is like a 5-page like assessment on chronic pain. And I never mentioned I had chronic pain because I don't. I don't have constant back pain. My back is not always hurting. I only notice it, and they probably don't get patients as young as me, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I don't have chronic pain. I go, let me take a bite of this before y'all say, what is he doing? This is a mukbang. Okay. This is a horrible, like, ratio. Have you ever had a bad ratio from Chipotle? It's just way too much rice, not enough sauces. So, on the assessment, it's very like, we already know what you have. Instead of me like, this is why I wanted to go there and talk to somebody to be like, this is how it's happened. Like, this is what's going on. How do I fix this? It was very like, okay, so your back, is the issue. How long have you had this chronic pain? I'm like, I haven't had chronic, and you can't say that on the thing. It's just like a checkbox thing. I'm like, I don't have chronic pain. And then it's like, on a scale of 1 to 10 every single day, what's your pain level? I'm like, my pain level, again, I don't have chronic pain. I just want to fix my lordosis in my back. Then it's like, something about like my genetics, and then it was like, well, there's a difference. There could be something I don't understand that is actually like just because it's out of my wheelhouse, or I'm getting scammed. There's more reasons why I think that, but whatever. So anyway, so then I put on all this stuff or whatever. I kind of like fill it out to as best as I can. They asked if like I had depression or other like mental disorders, things and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay, this is before I saw a single person. I'm filling out this huge survey about all of these different symptoms. I'm like, what is going on? And so then I go to the chiropractor. That day or whatever, and the ladies there that were at the receptionist or whatever desk were very nice. Everyone there is very nice. And she was like, okay, we're gonna like take you to the back or whatever. So they take me to the back. They have this lineup of rooms. They show me a tour of the place, and the first thing I noticed is that they really dealt with a lot of pregnant women. She told me that. She told me they dealt with a lot of pregnant women, and they had pictures of them on the wall. And I was already like, okay, well, I'm like the furthest thing from a pregnant woman. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And so then I'm like, okay, whatever. They had like mostly pregnant women. They dealt with a lot of pregnant women and babies. Again, this is a place that was recommended to me by my insurance, my health insurance. And so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And then they do this scan. They wanted to keep on saying, now this is where I'm getting into the territory of like, is this real? Or are they just saying this because this is a scam? They tell me that this machine that they're using, again, I haven't done any research on this. to like verify. This machinery they're using preliminarily in this consultation is NASA approved. NASA approved. I'm like, okay, great. I think they said it on their website. I think I saw that on their website. And then also I think I heard it once or twice in person. So I'm like, okay, NASA approved, whatever. And basically what the machine does is, like, I had a little, like, hospital gown on. And they went down. I saw this on the website too. They said that they were so technologically advanced that I wouldn't even be able to understand it. So basically what they do is they focus on the nervous system and your spine and your nerves inside of your spine, because they believe, or well, I guess this is true, but your brain and your nerves control everything that you do in everyday life. It is the central ability to move your body and control your muscles and et cetera, et cetera. And they said if there's a disconnection between any of these nerves and any one of your muscles, and they're not firing correctly, it'll just mess up everything else. So they basically credit every issue you have to your spine. Okay, fine. So they use this NASA gun thing, and what it does, it is literally just goes on your spine, and they're going down and they're measuring the heat of each of your nerves that are going through your vertebrae. And the heat of the nerve determines how much stress it's under. Now, let me just say this. Actually, I'll get to that really quickly. But basically, so they go down and they see, and then they give you a chart. After that, they print out this chart and they say, okay, this one was hot and this one, they're bars. Okay, the bars have 4 different colors: white, green, blue, or red. Red is the worst. White is the best, right? White means like little to no stress. Red means a lot. And then it goes, blue green is next and then blue. So, basically, they, went down my back, whatever. She gonna come back with a scan and print it out. She said, okay, so look at this. And she showed me the paper. She said, so your C1 vertebrae, which is specifically on my right side. She said the C1 vertebrae, and it had a really long red bar. I was like, oh my God. She said, listen up. Your C1 vertebrae, it had 2 rounds. It actually has already suffered twice, and it doesn't need a round 3. So we need to get you in immediately. And I said, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, your C1 is like suffering twice. It's already suffered twice, and I need you to actually get your sessions in. And I was like, okay, well, what does this mean? Like, what does that mean? And she was like, well, it's inflamed. And now the other spine, or like the other nerves on my body, I had a couple of blue and green ones, which they said also was not good, obviously, like under the C1, not in the C's, but like in my was it my lumbar? What's the one that's not the cervical or the lumbar? It's like in between. Is that a different one or whatever? Anyways, it was like by my shoulders, basically. And a little bit below my shoulders. And then after that, lower, it was white. And then my like lumbar, like where I assumed that there would be like a little bit, more red, or at least like blue. I forget if it's blue or green, whatever. At least like the second down from the worst. It was more, I think it was like white or something else. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling pain in my lower back when I have these pains, but they're telling me that it's mostly up in my shoulder area plus my C1 vertebrae. And so what they do is they like do these micro adjustments essentially to get your spine giving the signals off correctly. So I'm like, okay, great. They're like, we're going to do some x-rays. So I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, I go in for the first time I'm seeing you. I'm getting this NASA equipment on me. You guys told me I have chronic pain and I don't. Basically on this survey thing. And then when I try to explain I don't have that, now I'm taking x-rays. At the first session, I think x-rays the first, I don't know, I don't do this a lot, but I think x-rays the very first time you see me is crazy. So they're like, yeah, we're going to do these x-rays. I'm like, okay. So essentially we do these x-rays or whatever, and I never see the results the first time. But before I leave, they say, okay, because they told me over the phone that it was going to be, I think they told me it was going to be $75 for the consultation. So now I'm thinking back to that Yelp review. I'm like, okay, obviously I knew that I was probably going to have to pay something, but $75 is kind of crazy. So like, yeah, it's going to be $75 for this Yelp review. Not this Yelp review, sorry. $75 for the consultation. So I'm like, okay, so whatever. I get there, I do the whole thing or whatever, and before I leave, they're like, okay, so we're going to accept payment now. I'm thinking I'm going to pay this rest of this $50. Tell me why they charged me another $105 for this consultation. So now at this point, I paid $130. Actually, no. I paid $130 there. So I paid the $25 down payment thing for a consultation. I paid $130 there. So I already asked. I was like, hey, what is like insurance cover? And she's like, yeah. So basically, like once you get a plan with us, we'll let you know like how much your insurance will pay for each session, and then you can determine whether or not you want to do it or not. I was like, okay. So my first time ever talking or seeing anybody, I'm paying, what is that? $155 for x-rays and NASA equipment on my spine and all this other stuff. And I, again, was really trying to ask them what's going on. Like, what is this? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what is your process? And they're explaining to me the process, and I just feel like it's very vague. It's like, basically, this is the gist that I got. Your spine and your brain control everything that your body does, okay? And in order to fix those things, we need to fix your spine. Now, I'm thinking that means a mixture of, the back cracks or whatever, and exercises I need to do at home to really, hone in on my stretches, or maybe some like little back exercises or something. I don't know. Whatever, just some kind of mixture of like at home and in place kind of thing. But whatever. And again, I'm not saying this place is a scam, but so then they basically say, okay, we'll see you in a couple days to do your second visit. Now, these two first visits are like not normal. Like these are the weird ones out of your time frame. You're gonna pay a little more because you haven't started your plan yet. So I go to my second visit or whatever, and this time they say, okay, this is where I felt like it was a little weird. They had a group session. They group you into two things. So either you can go at Tuesday or you can go on Thursday at a specific time for each one. And you sit there with a group and they explain to you the process of this. They're like, okay, I guess they didn't want to have to explain it over and over. I don't know, but I feel like I want to have like an interpersonal connection with my doctor where they're explaining to me this like personally. But we had a group, and my group was small, it was only 3 people, but I had it scheduled before and I had to cancel it. So I'm assuming that the other days, the Tuesdays, are more busy, but I ended up going on Thursday. Because Thursdays were in the middle of the day and Tuesdays were like in the afternoon where people got off of work. And so you're in this big group and you're like having him, he was like basically over and over the same explanation. And like different words, different organization of words, but all the fact that your brain and your spine are very important and they need to be fixed because otherwise nothing else will be fixed. And then what they specifically said was, we are not here to tackle symptoms. We're not a symptom-oriented place. We deal with the nervous system and everything else comes after. So I'm like, okay. Again, I'm keeping all this in mind, like very skeptical of the whole situation. And he's telling us this as this group. And at one point he steps out and one lady like decides to like try to, chat up the group or whatever. It was me, her, and one other guy. And she was like, so is everybody else's spine messed up or something like that? And then I was like, yeah, something about my C1 on my right side being red. And then I glanced at, she didn't talk about it, I glanced at her sheet, and her C1 was also red. It was it was longer than mine, the red bar, but it was bigger. I mean, it was the only red one on her sheet as well, I think. I obviously just glanced. So I was just thinking in my head, this is so weird how both of our C1s are like red. This is so crazy. And so I'm like, well, maybe that's just a thing. Maybe that's a thing that a lot of people have. Maybe just like a lot of people have an issue with their C1. I don't know if it was on the right or left side. because mine specifically my right side. I don't know if hers was on the right or left side, but it was definitely her C1. Like, it was really high up on her skeletal body structure. So I'm like, interesting. So, whatever. Then they start taking us back into rooms. And these are the rooms you're going to get adjusted in. And it's the same guy. There's one doctor that I met this whole time. He's the one who did my x-rays. He's the one who did this seminar thing. I said seminar. And then he's also doing the adjustments in the room. So they bring us back to the receptionist or whatever, bring us back to these separate rooms. And but the first thing he does is let us see our x-rays. So first of all, I've never gotten an x-ray before. And also, what I was really confused about is, aren't you supposed to, like, cover up the parts of your body that are not getting x-rayed for, like, because of radiation? But whatever. I don't know. He didn't do that. I was just sitting there standing up, but just looking at the thing. And he was, like, doing x-rays on, like, he did a couple of them. They only showed me 2 x-rays, though. They showed me my neck. And one thing that he specifically said in the seminar was that a lot of people's necks are straight. Okay? And another thing that he said that also, it didn't, like, bother me, but it was like, I guess this is common. But, you know, when you're being skeptical of things, you think of everything, right? So I'm sitting here at the seminar thing, and he's like, oh, yeah, so he was like, I was in your position, you know, 15 years ago. And he's pretty young. He's probably like in his early 30s. He was like, yeah, when I was really young, I used to have all of these issues. And he starts going down these issues, and he's like, neck pain, lower back pain. He was like something about his arms, maybe, I don't know, like other things that he said. He used to be really active and play sports or whatever, and he would have these pains. And he was like, migraines. He specifically had migraines, and he was taking these Advils these pills or whatever, like anti-migraine or whatever. And so I was like, okay, interesting. But then I was just like, it's just so weird how like he can have low back pain too, but I just felt like it was he looked at me you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked at me when he said low back pain. So I'm just like, okay, well, maybe he had low back pain too, and he wanted to just like say like, I understand what you're feeling right now. I don't know. Or he just mentioned every symptom that each one of us had, and which is so crazy to think. I don't know. That could be possible though, right, guys? I don't know. Or he mentioned everything that we had, whatever. So let me know if I'm over exaggerating. I'm being crazy. Let me know in the comments, because I will be reading to see what your guys' feedback is. And so then he basically, I don't even know if this is an interesting story time. So basically he shows me my x-ray. My back is actually curved so crazily. I don't even know what to tell you guys. It was literally so insane. I was like, what is that? And he said specifically that my neck was straight as a bone. It's not supposed to be straight. Your spine, your neck part of your spine, your vertebrae, is supposed to be a C, right? And a C this way, like this, right? And so mine is straight up like this, and he said it's actually bowed the opposite way, just a fraction. So it's the wrong way in a C shape. And I was like, this is so interesting that he literally went over this in our seminar. That was the only x-ray he showed up there. The only x-rays he showed were x-rays of people with their neck straight. And then, so then when I went into my thing, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm straight neck. That's me. Straight neck is me. And so I'm like, this is so crazy. But then I was also wondering, like, okay, so you have this seminar of all these prospective new patients, right? Why not give us like a success story? This is this person. I don't even know if that's like legal to show people's x-rays, but like he already showed somebody's x-rays. It weren't like, you don't have to say a name or anything. You could just say this patient's x-rays, this is what they looked like before, and this is what they look like after treatment with us. He had x-rays up there, but he never mentioned what they did, if they were even x-rays a part of this company, if they had done, like, if they fixed them or whatever. They were just people's straight necks. And then he showed us, so it was like a progression of a healthy neck to a non-healthy neck, which is a straight neck. And then he showed us this other x-ray, again of a neck, and it was this neck or whatever, and he was like, how old do you think this person was? And he had told us, like, it takes years and years and years for this. Like, he was like, some things take up to 60 years to develop in your body and be, you know, like, quote-unquote bad, like what we would want to fix. And then so he showed us a straight neck. He was like, how old do you think this patient is? And, you know, we like are saying like 40, 50, 60, whatever. He's like, no, this girl's 10. I'm like, what? She's 10 years old with a straight neck, and you just told us that most of these things happen over the course of decades. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? So then now he's showing me my straight neck. Again, me being very, very skeptical. I could be literally outrageous and insane, but you're showing me a straight neck in a seminar, all of us or whatever, right? And then you're showing, I'm not denying the fact that people's necks are not supposed to be straight. At the end of the day, my neck is straight, okay? I'm sure that your neck is supposed to be shaped like a C or whatever, and that over time it messes up. But now I'm seeing, okay, this girl is 10 years old and she has a straight neck. I'm about to be 23, and my neck is straight. I'm assuming, and also the other patient he showed has a straight neck, and then I'm assuming the other people that are with me who are like 30, 40 years older than me also have a straight neck. So I'm like, this is so weird. We all got straight necks up in here. And then I'm just thinking, like, was that shown to be like, you guys have straight necks, so you need to fix it? Like, why? I don't know. I just expected more like, these are like 5 different patients that had all different kind of symptoms. And after 6 months of treatment with us, this is their x-rays before and after. So then I asked them, I was like, what? I was like, do you ever do an x-ray again? Like, do you ever do an x-ray at the end, or like maybe once in the middle and then once at the end of their session with them? No, we don't do that. Not unless we really want to order, like, not unless we really feel like we need to order x-rays. And so I'm like, why wouldn't you do that? To see if any kind of structural change is happening. You're talking about straight necks, and what you're doing is fixing these straight necks. Dang, this person was whipping through the parking lot. Don't do that, because you will get hit one day. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, so does that mean that, like, I don't know, I just feel like, why wouldn't you do another couple of x-rays? If you're talking about wanting people to sign on for, 6 months to a year, I want to see how my skeletal whatever has changed, or whatever, right? To see if this is actually working, or if I'm going to see any improvements. And like, I understand that not everything is your spine, your x-rays. Like, it's really about how you feel and your nervous system, stuff like that. Then why show us in the first 2 sessions of us being here that our x-rays are so bad if you're not going to be able to fix them? Like, why say this is your x-ray and we need to fix this and that if you can't even prove that it's being fixed at the end of this whole process? So I'm like, okay. And then also what really rubbed me the wrong way is that they never gave me my x-rays. Like, I'm going to ask for them, but I shouldn't have to ask for them. Is that a thing that I'm crazy again because I don't go to the doctor a lot? Like, I want to be able to see my x-rays. Like, you should email to me. I got an email. You can print them out. Like, it was only 2 x-rays. It was my lower back and of my neck. So I'm like, they could have like printed, literally just did a photocopy and gave them to me. Or I don't know. I would like to see what my spine looks like. Like, I just don't like how they have it and they just won't, like, not that they won't give it to me, but I shouldn't have to ask for it. I feel like, I don't know if I'm being crazy again. I'm trying to be really reasonable. So whatever. So then this is the last part. This is the kicker, guys. So he shows me my spine or whatever, and then that's at the point I'm like, oh my goodness, because like that like kind of at first I was really, really skeptical, and then I was like looking at the x-rays, I was like, this is so crazy, like maybe I need this, maybe I just need to like suck it up and do it. So they come with the plan. He shows me the plan, and he was like, okay, well, we're gonna set you up on a 6-month plan, and we're gonna give you we're gonna have you do 30 sessions. He was like, your insurance is gonna pay for I think he said like half of the first 12 sessions or something like that, and then you pay out our cash rate or out of pocket or whatever for the other things. And I was like, okay. So he showed me the 6-month plan, the 30 sessions, and I think it totaled around like $1,250, $1,250 for all these sessions. So I'm like, okay. And that's after the cash discount, and after like my insurance company. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I had told them the first time at the consultation, I told them I wasn't going to be here. I'm moving to Chicago around February, March. So I was like, I'm not going to be here for that long. Is that going to work? And he was like, no, that's totally fine. Like, we'll have that set up for you. So then I literally The next couple days later, 2 or 3 days later, I went to this thing and they gave me a 6-month plan. I'm like, I told you guys I'm not going to be here for 6 months. So again, this is another like interpersonal thing. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Not that they can't forget anything, but again, I'm just like being skeptical. Are you listening to what I'm saying as a patient and understanding what like my needs? Are you meeting me where I am? It's like, I totally forgot you needed that. Or are you just trying to like get everybody on a 6-month plan? You don't understand what I'm saying? Like, is it personalized care? Whatever. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be here for 6 months. I thought I like told you guys that. And he's like, yeah, I forgot. So he does literally in his head math. He crosses off the 6 months. He's like, let's just do 4. So he like changes it to 4 months. He does the math calculations in his head, and he was like, okay, it's gonna be $800. Cash or card? And I said, okay, well, how does this process work? And then I kind of, again, briefly explained to me that before. I'm trying to be intellectually honest and explain what they did. They had done that before. Like, really just said, okay, you would come like, 2 times a week or so and get adjusted. And again, I'm thinking I'm getting what I'm seeing on social media. I'm getting down my down my back is what I'm assuming I'm getting. And so I don't want to bore you guys for another 20 minutes. So then I'm like, okay, fine. $800. I have a plan of I pay $200 a month for 4 months. I'm like, that's not that big of a deal. I think I can do that. Whatever. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this a scam? Again, and it's hard to like decide that and determine and have discernment while they're talking to you and whatever. So he's like, do you want to go ahead with it? I was like, yes, it's fine. So I go to the front. They charge me another $200. So again, I want you to think about it. $130 the first payment. This is $200. I want to say the $200 was a part of my $800 thing. They had showed me my x-rays. They didn't give them to me. I signed an initial and a couple things on the paper. They didn't like, it wasn't like a contract. They also didn't give me that either. I want a copy of what I signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is yours. I don't know if this is not protocol, but it should be. I want to see my x-rays. I want to see my, why is it that I can't have like a little photocopy of my x-rays? And why isn't it that like you didn't say, okay, we're going to email you these documents that you signed, or like we're going to print out a copy or something, whatever. So they didn't do that. I signed my initial or a couple things, and it was mostly just like, I'm signing up to do it. I don't think there was like I honestly think that right now, if I wanted to, I could cancel it, because she mentioned like, if you want to change any of your plan, you can always come into, she was saying, this is basically saying you need to come into the office to change it. Like, you can't just go online and be like, whatever. Almost like how like you're at a gym and they make you like come in to cancel your membership, whatever. So I'm like, fine. Again, I'm thinking $800 over 4 months is not too much. And it's like, now I'm down to 22 sessions or something like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go back for my first adjustment, and I hear everybody else, and the woman I don't know why this rubbed me the wrong way, but the woman in the room in front of me, it's like very open. I can hear everything. I can't see her, but I can hear her. She's just really amazed at her x-ray. She's like, wow, I didn't know I was going through all this, like my spine and this and that, which I fully believe is true. Like, again, my spine looked crazy too. So I'm like, I fully believe that. And she's just like, this is so fascinating. Like, and she's just really not like buying it, but she's like really into everything. And he's like, hang on every grasping word. She's like, this is so interesting. Like, I can't wait to have this pain gone. And like all this stuff. I'm assuming she had chronic pain. She was a little bit older. Like, she obviously was there for a purpose, as we all are. So like, she obviously had some sort of pain. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And he's like, yeah, this is like, fix it and things like that. So he gets over to me, and I am literally, they hate me. I literally was asking questions up the hoo-ha. I was like, can you explain this to me? I kept on going back to this thing. I was like, okay, so you're telling me if you fix my C1 vertebrae or whatever, and then, okay, so this is why it didn't make sense to me. They were telling me that my C1 vertebrae being messed up was the reason why my lower back hurt. Is because the signal couldn't go down and tell the lower back muscles to work or something. And then I was like, okay, so why is it that my C1 vertebrae being red and someone else's C1 vertebrae being red has different symptoms? Why is it that theirs makes their body they have like other leg pain or whatever, and I have lower back pain, but we have the same issue, and that I understand that everyone has different bodies or whatever, and there's other factors, but like, what is is that a food truck? I should have went to that place. I've never seen that food truck there, but anyways, and so I was like, okay, well, I just don't know what that means, whatever. And he tried to explain it to me again. I'm getting explained this to me, and it's like it's making sense on a surface level. Your back is messed up because your spine is not sending the signals properly. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of orders to do. My dad just texted me. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, fine. So then this is the kicker. So he does the adjustment, and he brings out this tool. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You probably have seen it. I'm sure I've seen it before, so I'm sure it's like a legit thing that other places do. But it looked like a crutch, almost, or like a pogo stick. That's what he specifically said. It was a pogo stick, but it was tiny. It was like this big. And basically, when you click the thing on the back, there's a little pistol, and it literally like punches at like he's like a 60th of a second or like a 70th of a second. It was something really small, like a fraction, and it's a super light, like, but it's super fast. And he was like, I use this to do the adjustment. I'm like, okay. So again, I'm thinking I was getting a whole kit and caboodle cracked down, and I wasn't. So then I get on this table or whatever. He does the adjustment on like right here, like below my neck or something. Not the C1 vertebrae, I don't think. A little bit lower down. And then he did one like kind of by my shoulders. And then he's like, I'm going to do a thoracic adjustment. So breathe in and breathe out. Crack. He did a manual one with his hands. And then he did one more. I want to say closer in the same region. And then he said, okay, see you next time. I said, oh, so I just paid $200. And I get the $200 for multiple sessions. But if they're going to be two little on my upper back and then two cracks, again, I don't know if I'm just making this up. This sounds so crazy. He did two adjustments. He said, breathe in, breathe out, cracked my little middle back. And then I did it again, and he did one more with manually. And the other two were literally like this. I felt no cracks, no nothing. He literally went like this on my spine. And yep, that was it. And then he was like, okay, you can go. And I was like, oh, okay. And at this point, I paid them $350 something for some x-rays and some all this other stuff. And again, I'm still feeling what I felt in my lower back. I mean, like, whatever. So then I asked him, like, okay, so how long does it take for my spine to be straight? He was like, definitely not as long as you're going to be here. It's going to take longer than that. I was like, okay, how long does it take for somebody who's going to be here who has unlimited time? He was like, 1 to 2 years. I'm like, 1 to 2 years of this is going to actually fix your spine. And that was really a number he pulled out of his head. Is that really true that, like, well, at that rate that you're doing it at, like, of course it's going to take 1 to 2 years. I don't know. Can you even fix the correction of your spine, like, and make it, because mine was looking crazy, by the way. And it was really alarming, because it wasn't even like what I thought it was, like, where, oh, there's a C in my, no, it was curved. It went to the left a little bit, and then it went all the way to the right, and then it went kind of straight up after that. So it's literally like a S. Isn't that scoliosis? Now, I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose myself with anything because I don't know. But that is so crazy. And I literally got a pop and a wiggle, and he said, go home. And then he was like, for your first adjustment, we're going to go light. I want the whole thing on my first adjustment. I want to be going, look, breathing heavy when I leave. Like, wow, my spine just feels like real corrected right now. Like, I want that so I can be like, okay, let me come back and get the smaller adjustments. But whatever. He said it was too much for my body to handle at the time. So I'm like, okay. But then I'm seeing all these people go and do one video with chiropractors, and they're getting their whole spine corrected. I don't know what to believe, what is correct, what's right. I don't know anything about this, whatever. So then I leave, and I'm just like, then now what I've told you in this video, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, they didn't give me my x-rays. They didn't give me the papers I signed. I got 3 adjustments. The lady also had a C1 vertebrae that was red. I'm hearing him talk about his lower back pain, which he fully could have had. This woman is so enthusiastic and excited about her pain relief about to be gone. And I'm about to pay $800 for 22 sessions for something that he told me my spine was still going to look crazy at the end of. But he assured me that I was going to have, my neurological network was going to be just perfect. Not perfect, but he was like, it's going to like improve dramatically and you're going to see, I'm going to feel a difference in my lower back. Okay. Maybe I'll do it. I guess. I don't know. But I just feel like this is so crazy. And I think that chiropractors like have the most flack in the medical community because like everyone is different. Every chiropractor is different. They say different things. Like obviously we know the anatomy of the body, but they have different ways and different methods of how you do it. And this one was focusing on the nervous system. I want to get my back cracked. I want to specifically be cracked every time I go, and like, you know, at least what you think that I need. And then I want exercises and things you think I should do. I want you to focus on my symptoms. He was like, we don't focus on symptoms. So you don't care that I have lower back issues, like you just want to crack me, but like you don't even know what you're like, not that you don't know what you're doing, but like you're doing the same thing to everybody and they're saying they all have all these slew of problems. And he's saying that that's going to fix everything. So I just don't know. I just think it sounds so crazy. But anyways, I digress. I'm finished with this video. And I do have to eat at some point. I hate when they give you so much rice. Let's talk about the ratio of Chipotle. I'm about to make a TikTok video about this real quick. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. If you haven't followed me on TikTok, please follow me. I'm Darius.Gaskin, I think is what it is. Or just type in Darius. You probably will see me on there. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And let me know in the comments if I'm being crazy or insane if you actually got to the end of this video. If you haven't, that's okay. You won't be seeing this, but that's all right. I still love you. And more content and good upcoming content. Like I'll be in Chicago. I'll be doing stuff for the girls there. Will be coming soon. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Peace out.